Hey guys, welcome to Peripheral Vision, and today we are taking a look at Arcade Treasures by Bill Kurtz. Now, Arcade Treasures is a book that I found at a local farmer's market, not the usual Saturday's market that I go to, but just a random one called Roots, or however you want to say it. And it's interesting to me because this is a book filled with old-timey arcades, and not just arcades as we see them like Pac-Man or Donkey Kong, but really old-school penny arcades and pinball machines. So basically things that were in the arcade environment long before even the earliest arcades. So I wanted to open it up and show you guys what was inside. A lovely wood grain piece of paper. So keep on moving. Acknowledgements, introduction, and a jackass. Or, yep, jackass. Test your strength and learn your future. Now, this is talking about how in the early days of these things, you would get all kinds of different photo machines or strength testers or things that relied on mechanical innards, and they would pop out like a few, like for example here, we've got Grandmother's Predictions, which is terrifyingly creepy. And here we've got the Mystic Wheels, which was a machine that, Mystic Wheels, which told you the woman, gave you a picture of the woman you were supposed to marry in the future. So a lot of these were just machines that had mechanical parts that would either move something around and give you some basic information. And they're all terrifying. I think they're all really, really scary looking. And the ones that have like the fake figures in them are, at least. And they all kind of follow that philosophy. Oh, here's another interesting style. The Viewoscope. And the Viewoscope, if I'm correct, is part of a family of arcade-style things which you would put money in, and you could view pictures, or you could view a quick, mechanically created slideshow. And as we move along, we're moving into the Skeet Ball territory. And these are games that I would verify as like Chuck E. Cheese kind of games, where you could, you throw the ball and you try to get it. We've got some more photo things. Here we've got Hitler. Here's a Hitler. That's an interesting thing. What is that? Oh, it's one of the very early gun style games. That's kind of cool. One of the progenitors of your Duck Hunts, and even further back, you're like, I don't know, Call of Duty maybe, whatever. And here we're into the pinball. And I don't know what this guy is. Let's take a closer look at that. Oh, it's kind of like a bowling game. That's interesting. Oh, and Foosball. How can I forget Foosball? It's really interesting the ways that the pre-video game novelty market was created. It's kind of cool. Like, as a person that's much more avidly connected to the NES era of game, as far as like my historical appreciation, it goes back for me to like the Atari age and that era, but the arcade age and before that is really something that I don't know that much about. I'm aware of pinballs, but I only have the slightest realistic knowledge of what I know what they are. That's basically it. I couldn't tell you like famous. I know Gottlieb is a pretty famous pinball maker. And something I've always loved about the pinballs is they're very bright and colorful. They really knew how to draw you in. And it seems from here on out, mostly just pinball machines. Of course, that was like the craze. We get like the Pinball Wizard and things like that. Come on, give me something else. Here's something. I don't know what it is, but here's something different. I'm not going to explain this. I'm not going to read it. I will afterwards, but I want you guys to just wonder, what the heck is this? What's going on there? Leave your best guess in the comments down below. I would love to hear what you think that is. And if if you say something naughty, I won't really care. But pinball, more pinball. And oh, here's a bunch of sports-themed pinball games. Base Hit, Driving Range, Mini Golf. Because before even sports video games strolled onto the Atari 2600, we had sports pinball games. Which kind of makes sense. I mean, it makes sense in my head. Usually the field of a sports stadium has a good outlay for what could be a pinball table. And I'm curious because I know that the arcades are in here. They do exist. Ooh, I think this. Nope, that's just another pinball machine. About halfway through here. Oh, here we are. Oh, you got me excited. Wait, is it? Is it the thing I think it is? Let's take a closer look. I do not know. Yes, it is. It has a screen. It has a screen. These are shooting arcade games. No more of that mechanical nonsense. We want. Well, I guess it's all mechanical, but and more pinball. Oh, come on, come on. You faked me out. We're gonna skip some stuff here. And here we are. Here's what I know. Here's what I know better, at least. Here is what. Let me see. This is called Computer Space. This is considered by some to be the first video game. I think I would consider the first video game ever to be the game that they repurposed the oscilloscope. I can't say it, but video game historians know what I'm talking about. Then we've got Pong, which is a lot of people. That's what most people think is the first video game. And then we've got a bunch of others and more basketball, more sports. And we keep moving through the era of arcade gaming, Asteroids, Galaxian, and the ever famous, ever popular Fire Truck. Which isn't a bad idea for an arcade game, now that I think about it. It's actually a pretty cool idea. And some more Skeet Ball things. Ooh, we've got one of the first appearances of the cocktail-style arcade cabinet, which is pretty cool. Oh, and Coney Island. For those that don't know, Coney Island is a very popular attraction, and it has a very obvious. It has arcades and stuff there, and that's so cool. That is one of the coolest arcades I've ever seen. It's just a giant shark. What is it? PSE's Maneater. I want to play Maneater now. And then I forgot about this. They used to advertise arcade machines with attractive women. So like, oh, that Sammy, he just never stops putting out. Well, that's that. Oh, Miss Pac-Man, Centipede in the Pac-Man series. And we get more of the Atari lineups. I wonder if they're going to have Donkey Kong in here. They probably will. They better. I will track this guy, Mr. Kurtz, what is his name? Bill Kurtz, yes, I will track you down, Mr. Kurtz, if you ignore Donkey Kong. And we see the pinball scene is still active in this era. Pinball lasted up through when the arcades were popular. The arcades weren't, they were kind of the pinball killer. I think the home console killed the arcade experience in general, both the pinball and arcade. But I do think that there was, I don't know the facts 100%, I don't know my history on this, but I would assume that the arcades were a really big, it took a really big hit. The pinball machines took a really big hit when the arcade stepped in. Ooh, the T2 arcade. That's cool. Getting close about that. The Terminator was obviously really a big example. The Terminator was a really great property to turn into an arcade shooting game. The Twilight pinball machine, which is a really famous pinball machine. It's so famous that I am aware that it's a famous pinball machine, so that should give you an idea. Okay. More random stuff. Elvira the pinball machine. That's kind of neat. And we're getting towards the end, folks. Well, sort of the end. We'll start skipping some things. Oh wait, we have some cool, cute, these little things got printed out. These were advertisements? Yes, they were advertisements. Or, they're different things. They're advertisements, they're tickets that got printed out. Also, there's instructional things. Oh, I like this. A whole bunch of the marquees from the different arcade games. And some cool arcade-related memorabilia. I really like this. I don't know why I like this so much, but I do. Another famous example, hot lady markets nerdy object. And it worked, by the way, just for the record, it still works. Hot woman markets nerdy thing, always gonna work. And that is it. There's a little price guide here if you were particularly interested in. I'm sure those prices are hideously outdated. But that is Arcade Treasures. Thank you for taking a little journey with me through this treasure trove of early arcade novelties. And as always, later days.